I am channeling spirit, messages from the love of the universe, and a meditation at the same time. So find somewhere just comfortable you can stop for a few minutes and relax. And let's see what messages of love spirit has to send to us. Change the way you respond to things. Don't respond out of reaction. Respond from your heaven God self. What would an angel do? All of the things you do in these human lives is because of the lack of love you received from your parents, from your friends as a child. Everything is because of what you received as a child and as a growing adult. And as an adult, what you received and what you didn't receive from people close to you and from people far away from you who are affecting you, who are sending you fees, who are banging on your door, who are pointing guns at you. Unfairness in cultural practices, religious practices, society. Think of a time when you had a great time, where all your friends were loving. Everyone you associated with every day was in support of you or favorable to you in some way. How did it make you feel? I can tell you, it made you feel on top of the world. You even started some projects and you carried them out. That is the best example that we have in human life to explain how things are when everything is favorable to us. And then on those days or moments or things when something is not favorable to us, we destroy ourselves, we eat ourselves, we narrow down, break down, and we don't function properly. We begin to function out of spite, rebellion, out of sadness, out of ultimatum, out of we don't know what other choice to do within this humanity lifestyle that we have made till this day. Lifestyle is not a set thing. We have made it this way. And as obscure this may, and abstract, as obscure and abstract this all may seem, that is the thing, that is the answer, that is the message, that is the problem. That is what's killing you all. That is what's killing your energy, what's hurting your soul, what's tearing up and eating away from you. You may think you have a nice, happy, good life, but that's only one perspective. What about everyone around you and everyone you associate with? Are they also having that beautiful, good life that you are? You can only see through your eyes. And again, there comes the reason of, oh, we are too busy, we have to go to work, I have to do this tomorrow, I don't have time to stop and think of these things. And that's why the world keeps on suffering, because no one has time to stop and think of these things. The world keeps suffering because of your choices and actions, of the love that you didn't feel, and you're taking it out. Almost everyone, 99.999% of the world. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are, how you are. You are all reacting and responding to this situation where in your growing up, anytime in your growing up until this day, where you were not responded with love, you were not nurtured. Instead, you were bullied, you were scared by someone, you saw something unfair, you didn't want to be left out, so you chose to be a dickhead, or ignorant, or arrogant, or neglectful, or this or that, once or twice or 3 times or whatever. You chose a position where you could not fall because you didn't want to admit what was actually happening. My dear loved ones, my dear fellow brothers, sisters, my dear fellow children, my dear fellow lovers, boyfriends, husbands, girlfriends, wives, mothers, fathers, cousins, daughters, sisters, brothers, grandfathers, grandmothers, great-grandparents, you are all my something. Got where I was going now. Everything that you do in this life is because of those times where you did not feel love, were not loved, were not treated with love, or you witnessed that love did not happen, something else happened. Everything you do, all the jobs you've created, all the conundrums, all the situations that you cannot get out of, that you have to carry out, everything that you do in this earth life is nothing more than retaliation. Retaliation to survive. Well, we're not stupid anymore. We know. And with all these internet connections, we can see what other people aren't doing around the world. We have connections now more. We have physical connections now. But we're working on our spiritual connection. But everything you're doing, every position you hold as a career, everything you buy, every project you do because of the lack of love, or for those who think they haven't done anything out of love, believe me, you have. Many times you have walked past something and you know, you could have acted out of love, but you didn't because it wasn't your problem, or you didn't have the time. You were in a rush to do more retaliation or something else in your life that makes you think that you're important in that role or position, and significant, that you can't stop and be somewhere else. When you are a slave to your position, that's a problem. That's one type of retaliation. The other type of retaliation is. Sorry when I yawn, it's them connecting to me and clearing some of the gunk that I've been coated with from all humans' craposity. The other retaliation is we run to something to be preoccupied and say, oh no, we have to be here, we have to go there and say this and stay there and blah blah blah. To impress others or to make others think that we are doing something useful. That was the key. Doing something for others, retaliating for others, to others, because of others. How we look in other people's eyes. What are they going to say? What are they going to think of us? What are they going to... It's all about, what are others going to think? If I do this, at least they'll be off my back. Yes, this is all harsh and extreme. Not because love is never harsh and extreme. It's the lack of love that is harsh and extreme. It is the lack of love. So you need to find and practice where this lack of love is. Notice that moment. Well, it's all the time, but notice notice the high peaks of it. Okay, it's highest right now, I can think of it now, blah blah blah. And then see how you respond. Ask yourself questions. Which would be the most lovest way to respond? And not because of an opinion or what others have taught you, but what do you think? You know these answers. What would be an act of love? What would not be an act of love? And not without any of those silly justifications, just so that you can get out of being, for example, helpful. That's not what we're talking about. That's how you'll know the difference between what is love and what is excuse. Because love doesn't play these games. Love doesn't play excuses. Love doesn't play all these other games. All the games that humans play. All the acts that humans do are extreme. So when you respond extremely to something, it is because of that and the lack of love. What love really is and how far it goes and how love responds to something is different to how all of anything you'd get from your religion's response to is different to how your human needs will respond to. Is different to how your societal needs, cultural needs, career needs, everything you respond to is different to the real love. And now it is time to bring out the real love. Love does not use guns. Love isn't scared to love. Love does not have an opinion or a judgment. Everyone that's religious says, oh, we want to be like God, we need to be like God. Not one of your actions that you think is a good deed is anywhere near that of what your God, you say that you're God, that you're trying to be like. The charity that you reserve one day in your life to do is not the love of God. The charity that you do every day, every time, yes, or at least most of the time, And yes, this will take every one of you out of your comfort zones, because your comfort zones is what's not holding you back, is what's continuing the hatred just ricochet off the walls everywhere. Have a think about that. And this goes for all of you. For everyone and everything, there is a love answer. There is a love answer. And you all know these things. I don't need to explain to you what a real love is. You all know these things. You just have to stop fighting in your mind and in yourself and just start working from your heart. You know what these things are. It's like, imagine a digital radio when you're going backwards and forwards on the numbers and you're trying to find the sweet spot. That's how this is too. You have to find the sweet spot. Yes, maybe the world will stop and stand still, but not the world of love, the human, modern day, whatever you want to call it, artificial world. Everything that humans do with jobs and houses and services, that's all artificial. That has to stop, because that's not working out of love. You have not learned to love to be able to carry out any of those things. Anything is possible in this, your world, your physical world, if it is done with 100% love. Once you find the sweet spot of love, real love, you will find that that is all that was needed to make miracles. Nothing else, and all your ventures would start to work. So, who are you going to share this with? Who are you going to act this with? That's everybody. Not sharing this is not love. If you don't go and discuss this with people and start acting this love out or finding this sweet spot, that is a humongous already act of non-love, the opposite. You say you want to do good for your child or for your lover or your parents, but if you do not do this, then that all just goes, that's all in vain. Your actions have no love in them. You act out of fear and out of emotion. To act out of love, you'll find it that it's in places you don't expect it. As human beings, we don't expect it to be love here, to be love over there. We only expect it to be love around our loved ones. That's not love. As I said, that's fear, and that's comfort zone, that's security. Start being love out there with everyone and everything. And don't be scared of the consequences. When you act out of love, you'll know. already everyone's mind and fear button and alarms are ringing right now, listening to that. We can't go on like this forever. Unless you enjoy disasters to do it for you, you may come back in another life, in this same place, maybe with more worse conditions. Learn how to act out of love. Love is always random, but it's also intentional. Where do you think right now or today you can be that God love? Love doesn't mean that you're protecting someone from something. You need to give people the opportunity to be love. Don't shield them from things. Don't cover their ears. Don't cover their eyes. They have a choice to turn away for a split second, or that's not for you to do. Do you give other people the chance to respond with love? Or do you dishonor their intelligence and the miraculous being existence of what they are, and say, oh no, I can't let them hear this, or can't let them see this. I know they're too young for this. I know they're too frail. They're just examples, but yeah, don't shield people from the opportunity to respond from love. If they respond from shame or embarrassment or disgrace, that is on them or on you if you painted the picture that way. But you must allow people on their own to respond out of their own love. Yes, they probably won't. Most of the time they will not. But you need to give them that opportunity and keep giving them that opportunity to respond with love, from love. Because love is not going to be ashamed of you. Love is not going to be scared of you. Okay, I'm channeling from something different right now. I think love itself is coming to channel itself in. I am love. You will not find love in any of the religious books. You will not find love anywhere. The only place you will find love is in yourself, from yourself. You yourself today have no idea who wrote your religious books that you hold up in the air every time you come up with a problem. I am not there. You don't know these people, who they were. You have no connection to them. The only thing you can connect to and have is me, and I am inside every one of you. I am love. Love is only love, and that is endless and miraculous and eternal. I am here for you to use in this world where Love is not very well practiced. I do not measure myself to the next person. I do not sit in the corner, keeping away from everyone. I engage and I love. I look past people's problems and give them the relief of love. Again, I must stress, you will not find me in your religions or in the buildings or in those books. I do not exist there. I exist inside of you. I am like the motor, the fuel in you. But you choose the fuel of another kind. You do not choose my fuel, which you have every right to do as you wish and live out your life as so. But whether it is out of love or from love or of love or with love, that's a very different story. You cannot change me into something that I'm not. Although I am endless, there is a riddle for you. I am countless. I am variety. But what that's to say is that you cannot make an unlove act from love. Which fuel do you choose to do? Whenever you do things, there is a fuel that drives you. One of them is love, which is me, and it's the most neutral, yet most effective, and most beautiful and loving way. All the other ways you choose are not of me. They'll be different. They'll either make you feel bigger, feel more important, they'll give you status, they'll make you look good in front of others, but they're not of me. Because I only act to love, not to impress. Not to succeed, not to profit, not to cover up. I don't fear, and I don't bring upon fear, because I'm not fear, I'm love. Fear is one of your most used tools these days, and that has been for thousands of years. That is not love. Survival is not love. All the excuses and panicking that you're feeling throughout any of this messaging is not love. Practice, please practice to see what of your thinking and your actions is of love and what isn't. Find the sweet spots. They won't have human reasons. They will only have reasons of love. They won't have human reasons, cultural, religious, this or that, or family, or whatever reason you can think of. They will only have one reason, and that is love. Okay, I'm going to stop that there. I've never channeled love that has come out as a separate self or entity on its own like that. A little surprised and interesting. Just so you know, these things happen as they come out. I have not had time to prepare this video. I'm still in bed and the channeling just started and it got interrupted by love. So practice this wherever you can, share it, discuss it, teach each other love. The reason why I've have brought this topic out today, or even though it crisscrosses and relates to all my other topics, they're not my topics but from the videos, is because I've been witnessing a lot of unlove and all the garbage that things are coated by and painted and hidden and shaped and twisted to seem like this or that, or people that are doing the other thing or one thing or whatever. That's not love. And all I felt was pain for the last few days, and pain, thinking none of that is love. Then what's going on? What do we, and that's where this came from. So much unlove out there. And as the thing said, go back and listen to it. 99.9999% of the things that we do is not of love. Not because of what it is, but because of why and how we done it. Why we did it, how we did it, is not of love.